Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I really do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, also leave a comment down below. It really does help out the channel, and I love interacting with everybody out there in the comment section. We do have a couple cool things coming up here on the channel here relatively soon. I hope so. We are going to be doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway, so I'm definitely excited about it. I have a TRM 3 Rivers Manufacturing Holy Nerd to give away, plus one of Jimmy Crow's customs that he's provided to the channel. So definitely excited about it. Make sure you guys tell your friends, family, anybody you know. Go ahead and subscribe to the Carryandcut YouTube channel so we can do this giveaway. So thank you very much, and without being said, let's go ahead and do another knife review here. So this is the Vero Engineering Synapse Lefty. This was sent in to us by my main man over there, Stephen Weigel, and his little buddy Dom. So Stephen, really do appreciate that, buddy. Wouldn't be able to do this without you. That is for sure. This channel would not be it'd be pretty dead without all the support that I get from everybody out there in the community. So let's go ahead and dive right into this thing. This is the first Vero engineering knife that I have ever came in contact with. I see their stuff all over the internet. I know River's Edge Cutlery has a really good thing going on with Vero engineering right now, and it's just something that I have actually never personally experienced. I know Steven, he really likes these knives right here, and he tells me I need to look into them. He's a lefty. This is a lefty version, but still, even with me being a right-hand dominant person, this knife is still very easy for me to use. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what we got going on here. So this is a full, well, not full titanium. It is a titanium frame lock. Kind of seems like it would be a bolster lock with how these actual handle overlays go onto the knife, but this is still a full titanium frame locking knife. It just has these really cool overlays that you can get, and of course, there's a really cool thing about this knife in particular. You can get all sorts of different handle overlays to go on there, whether that be brass, any sorts of different kind of micarta, fat carbon, whatever kind of crazy stuff you can get, or Dream Up, they have it on there. Same thing with the clip. You can get all sorts of different crazy clips to go on, like time maskets and all that sorts of stuff right here. This is not a cheap knife. I will definitely tell you that. This is $340 is what I could come up with, and that one had a DLC coated blade. This is actually a hand rubbed satin on this one, and I must say it is a very nice looking blade, that is for sure. It is made of Bowler M390 steel right there. I will show you guys another set of the scales that you can get. So this must be the original ones that came on the knife, and then Steven, he did his own shipwreck on them, and I must say he did a very good job on it too. It looks really nice. I'm not sure how anybody not him, but anybody does that shipwreck. It's kind of interesting. I like to see how it's done. It does make the knife look very nice. One thing I will note about their packaging, it is really cool. They give you the Vero engineering pouch right there with the whatever that thing you want to call that on their patch. That's what I'm trying to get to. But on the inside of the box right here, they give you this little card, and it shows you all the different the knives that they have. So the Synapse XL, Isotope, Impulse, Axon, Impulse Mini, Synapse. So this one right here is kind of like right in the middle of their size category that they actually do. Really nice to see. It's definitely a not a small knife either. It's pretty hand filling at the same time. I just love the heft that it has. I mean, I know it's still going to be a hefty knife without even the brass onlays on the actual handle itself, but with the brass, it really gives that nice little extra touch of weight and heft, I guess you should say. It's pretty cool how they do the finger cutout. It's not a finger hole, but the groove they put in the blade, and of course it is going to be on the lefty dominant side, so the show side of the knife, it just looks super clean. I really do like that. The hand rub satin on this thing is really beautiful. We do have a really nice drop point blade shape with a whole bunch of belly on it. That is what I prefer. I'm kind of surprised that Steven has this knife because he is not a big fan of the drop points, especially one with such a big belly on it. But it is super nice. I think this would almost be a pretty good use for like a Skinner knife at the same time. That really nice amount of belly. And of course, M390 is going to be really good stuff. These must be pretty special knives because these are actually all serialized. This is number 171. We do have a lock bar stabilizer, over travel stop, and also the brass onlay also acts as an over travel stop at the same time. Let's see if I can get that. Ooh, reverse flick. Ooh, somewhat got it. Still working on my lefty. Oof, still. There we go. Got it that time. Really got to focus on that one. We must have a captive pivot on this thing. I really do like this flipper tab though. It is very minimal, and you can almost not even see it sticking out of the back right there. One thing that is pretty cool with these overlays, it gives your fingers place to rest and not fear of being in contact with that your lock bar right there. So you can really just put your fingers anywhere on the knife and it flies right open. And you get a lot of leverage with that flipper tab being above that pivot right there. So that is really nice to see. Flies right open. This knife is running on ball bearings, of course. I really do like the way that they make their clips too. Of course, this is going to be a machined titanium clip, but I just like the way that it's actually integrated and how thin it comes down to right here. It's a very nice clip in and out of the pocket. I know a lot of companies, some of them struggle with it. I really like that the way this is kind of canted forward and tips back down at the very end of it. It just gives a lot of nice room. Shouldn't tear your pockets up whatsoever. Of course, there's no G10 or anything kind of abrasive material underneath this clip to mess anything up. But I can still, of course, right hand very easily. I might even start of course, I'm not left-hand dominant, but I think I could probably rock a left-handed knife not too bad if it was one that I really, really liked and couldn't find a right-hand version of it. That is for sure. The more I do it, the better I'm getting at it. That is, yeah, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and do some overall size and comparisons with this thing. But I'm definitely blown away already at this. I know these are OEM'd in China. I'm not sure who the OEM is, but they're doing a very good job at what they got. That is for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and line the tip up the edge of our mat like we like to do. We are coming in right at, I don't know why I say right at, 'cause I don't ever give a, exact measurement here, but we are over 7 1/4 inches, probably 7 1/3 of an inch. Blade length is coming in right at, I'd say 3.2 inches, something like that. Sharpened edge is almost 3 inches. They do give you a very generous sharpening choil plunge grind right there. That is going to give you a lot of life expectancy with this blade shape. Of course, being a Bowler M390, it's going to keep hold an edge for a long time and take a very keen edge at the same time. So always going to be nice to see right there. And our sharpened edge, yeah, right at 3 inches. So always like to see that one. Let's go ahead and do, let's get a weight on this thing. This should be pretty, factory standard from the regular one, because all it does is has shipwreck on the scales. That shouldn't make any difference whatsoever. So 5.4 ounces. This is definitely not a lightweight knife by any stretch of the imagination, but the brass definitely does help on that weight right there. I imagine if you just had like a micarta onlaid version, it wouldn't be near as heavy. Not too sure on that one. I could probably look on the website and see, but it's I would assume it'd be under 4 ounces, but there is definitely a lot of heft of titanium there. That is for sure. And on the inside, there is no internal weight relieving whatsoever. So this is definitely a stout knife. It's hard use. You're going to be able to beat on this thing. It's going to keep coming back for more. So let's go ahead and see what kind of blade stock thickness we have going on here. Almost 140 thousandths. Yep, 140 thousandths blade stock thickness. What are we behind the edge here? So 20 thousandths, 185 thousandths behind the edge. Still 18 thousandths, I mean. There's 14, 13.5. Yeah, we're definitely still very thin behind the edge. I'm not sure if this is a factory edge on this one or not. I know Steven does like to put a lot of, his own edges on knives. But still, very, very nice, very sharp. Slices beautifully. That hand rub satin, though, that is a thing to be seen. That is for sure beautiful on that one. All right, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons, why don't we? How about up against the Ontario Rat Model 2? Very somewhat similar in size right there. How about up against the Benchmade Bug Out? Let's go ahead and get that one out of there. That's a pretty good size comparison there. How about the Benchmade 940? Pretty good size right there. Just a little bit shade smaller than the 940. How about up against the Spyderco Paramilitary 2? And then the Spyderco Para 3. All right, so we're pretty much, it's kind of Para 3 size, that's for sure. I wonder if I have one more we could throw in there to look at. How about the one more little set? How about that? That is up against the ProTech PT Plus. And then the Spyderco Delica is another one I like to throw in there too. That's a pretty good average size that a lot of people should have in their collection, that's for sure. So right there, we are perfectly just about the same size as the Spyderco Delica, but the overall dimensions are going to be, way off, because this thing is definitely going to be way thinner and the blade isn't going to be near as tall. It's just a whole entire different knife, but still nice to see the comparison there. I wonder what our overall handle thickness is. I know the thickest point is going to be up there at the clip, but typically I don't measure that. So right there, we are at a 1/2 inch on the actual handle thickness, and then at the thickest spot, it said 3/4 of an inch on the website. I got 72, so really close to 3/4 of an inch nonetheless. So you're still, I mean, you're going to feel it in your pocket. That is for sure. It's going to weigh you down a little bit depending on what you're wearing. I would say definitely put a pair of pants on and a belt when you're wearing this thing. I really do like the meaningful jimping they put right there. It's going to be, of course, differently spaced than the actual tang of the blade right there, but it's going to be really nice. Gives you a nice amount of traction and grip, and that is going to be what you need to actually overcome that detent. And speaking of detent, this thing is snappy. That is for sure. It comes out with authority. Makes a great sound and just flies out of there. You really can't ask much more out of a knife than that. This is a beautiful design, and I really do see why people like these now. I'm kind of beginning to be a Vero engineering fan because this is a super nice, just, you know, pleasantly surprised, I guess is the words I want to say. So, Steven, really do appreciate it, man. Thanks for sending this over to us. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will be happy to see if I can find some answers for you. But until next time, really do appreciate it. Thanks, guys.